Yo, what's up, Leo? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of February 2018. Leo, I was looking at a lot of astrological aspects this month, and I noticed some themes in the first half of the month and a theme that happens more in the second half of the month. But in the first half of the month, I noticed there's sort of a trend there. It's like there's somebody who values relationship in your life and somebody who wants to be in a relationship with you. Now, I know that sounds pretty general, but you start to get more of an idea of who this might be in the second half of the month. The planets start indicating that, potentially whoever this is, whoever wants to be in a relationship with you, is someone potentially that you know from your line of business or from your industry, or more specifically, not all of you. I mean, this is pretty specific, but there might be somebody in your life who can introduce you to a new line of work or a new industry or a new opportunity potentially, and this might be somebody who's interested in you. Now, if that's not the case, then if you're happily coupled up, whoever's interested in you for a relationship is obviously somebody you might be with already. Potentially you might already share your resources with this person. Now, mid-month there's going to be a new moon partial solar eclipse, and this has to do with something new about a relationship. So for some of you, it has to do with a new relationship altogether. For others of you, it might have to do with taking your existing relationship to the next level. But throughout the month of February 2018, the sun is going to be in an area for you that has to do with relationships. So this is a huge focus this month for you, Leo. So the first 3 weeks of February, if you're single, you should make an effort to bring somebody into your life. If you're interested in having someone in your life for a relationship, if you're coupled up, there's going to be more of a focus on you and your significant other and the one-on-one situations in your life in the first 3 weeks of February. The sun is going to shift on February 18th, and then it's going to be more about your shared resource situation. It's going to be more about joint financial ventures, business contracts, deals, negotiations. Your sex life's going to play a big role following February 18th. But those are the main themes for you, Leo, for the month of February 2018. Now I'm going to talk about some more specific major astrological events that are set to occur this month and what they mean for you. Right off the bat on February 1st, Saturn is aspecting Juno. And Juno is an asteroid in our solar system. Juno has to do with soulmates. So this sort of plays into what I was talking about in the beginning of the forecast. It's like there's somebody in your life who wants to be in a relationship for you, and this person might be more important to you than you even realize for some of you. So Juno has to do with soulmates. So potentially, whoever is a soulmate in your life, whether you realize this is a soulmate or not, potentially this is somebody that wants to be with you. Now, for others, it's aspecting to Saturn in an area that has to do with your work life. So this person you might know them from an existing line of work, or maybe they just remind you of your work, or potentially, like I said, more specifically, and I did mention this in the beginning of the forecast, there might be somebody in your world, and this is really specific, it's not going to resonate for all of you. There might be somebody in your life somewhere who wants to introduce you to maybe a new work opportunity, because there was a new moon last month that has to do with a new work opportunity. So, potentially this ties into that. On February 3rd, the sun is making what's called an opposition to the north node. So you have the sun this end of the sky, north node this end of the sky. They're facing off, so they're making a direct opposition to each other. So this would suggest that if you are in a relationship, you might not see eye to eye with your significant other about something on February 3rd. Now, the North Node is in your area, and that has a lot to do with it's in your sign. The North Node is in your sign on February 3rd. It has a lot to do with self-development. For some of you, this might be more about you're just trying to focus on yourself, and potentially there's somebody who's interested in you for a relationship right around February 3rd, and maybe some of you can't be bothered, or it's vice versa. Maybe some of you are really trying to make a connection. It's like you're really trying to bridge the gap with somebody that you're interested in for a relationship. But, what's the obstruction? Why is there this opposition happening? There's a planetary opposition. So maybe it's not so easy to make the connection. On February 8th, Mercury is aspecting Neptune. This has to do potentially with you're having a conversation. If you're coupled up and things are going well, you might be having a conversation in private with your somebody who you share your resources with, potentially. Others of you, this Neptune's in this area that has to do with your sex life. So On February 8th, potentially, some of you should say something flirtatious to the one you share your resources with. It might precipitate some sort of passionate encounter if that's what you want right around February 8th. And, if you're single, then this is a good time to maybe reach out to somebody who is, if you're single and looking for a relationship, you might want to check your line of business. So maybe there is somebody somewhere in your industry who, maybe they factor into a business partnership of somehow right around February 8th. On February 12th, Mars is aspecting not retrograding, but Mars is aspecting Uranus. And this would imply, Mars is in this area of true love for you, Leo, and Mars is pretty impetuous, and Mars wants instant gratification. So, Mars is it's basically like you're attracted to somebody sexually with Mars, and it's in this area that has to do with true love in your life. So there's sort of a dynamic between love and sex there. The dynamics of love and sex are definitely factoring into this day, February 12th, and it's aspecting Uranus, the planet of the unexpected, which is in an area that has to do with, some of you might have an impetuous sexual attraction and romantically attracted to someone who's in a distant location potentially. Now, for others of you, maybe that's not the case. Maybe this person's more local, but they're from a cultural background that's different from yours. Potentially, this is somebody who has, some sort of prominent heritage. And for others of you, this is going to manifest differently for all of you. But for others of you, this might be more about someone who is a spiritual figure or, someone who seems sort of spiritual. So maybe some of you are sexually, romantically attracted to someone who seems sort of like a spiritual figure in your life. On February 15th, there's a new moon partial solar eclipse. And this is an eclipse, so this has to do, like, whoever this is, it's really important. The eclipse is like the universe's way of saying, Leo, this is important. And this has to do with your relationship. So, if you are single, you can expect, I'm not saying all Leos are going to see someone come in their life in the 6 months that follow February 15th, following that new moon partial solar eclipse. But yeah, some of you might be headed for a new relationship. So look out for, somebody new coming into your life in the 6 months that follow February 15th. Now, if you're happily coupled up, then you might be taking your relationship to the next level after this aspect. So, like, what's going to happen? The new moon partial solar eclipse is going to happen on February 15th. The 6 months that follow February 15th, now all of a sudden you're getting engaged. Or if you're engaged already, then maybe you're going to get married. Or if you're married, it just means new stuff coming down the pike for your marriage. On February 20th, Mercury is aspecting Pluto. So Pluto is in this area that has to do with your work. There might be some sort of intense situation happening at work. Mercury is aspecting Pluto. Mercury has to do with conversations. Potentially this could be about a contract for some of you. For others of you, this has to do with a business partnership of some sort. Or it has to do with a shared resource situation. Now, this is a great day for stepping up intensity in your workout. If you're a Leo that likes to work out, you can really raise the intensity on February 20th. Some of you might be sexually attracted to someone who is, they seem like they're into fitness or they're physically fit. So you'll notice that right around February 20th. On February 22nd, Saturn is aspecting Ceres, the largest asteroid in our solar system. Ceres is retrograding in your sign on February 22nd. And some of you, this is very specific, but some of you might be considering, Ceres has to do with separation. So maybe you're going to separate, you're thinking about separating from an existing work opportunity to pursue a different work opportunity. That's pretty specific. So, obviously not all Leos are going to be separating from an existing work opportunity, but if you see that happen, there's this angle between Saturn and Ceres on February 22nd would imply some sort of maybe making adjustments or a change of direction. So it's going to be one or the other. It's like some of you want to make adjustments within what you're doing in your existing line of work. Others of you might just be ready for a change of direction altogether in regard to what you want to do in your job or as a job. Now, for others of you, this might be resonating more as this has to do with your health situation or has to do with the way you work out. Maybe you're going to be making adjustments to your workout routine right around February 22nd, or others of you are just going to change your workout routine up altogether. On February 25th, Mercury is aspecting the asteroid Pallas Athena. And once again, I mean, Mercury's in this area that has to do with a sexual attraction, or, for you, it has to do with who you're sexually attracted to, or vice versa. Maybe somebody's sexually attracted to you. You might know them from your career. Potentially, they might remind you of your career. This is right around February 25th. Or, like I said in the beginning of the forecast, once again, some of you Leos, very specifically, and not all of you, but a few of you have maybe a new work opportunity based upon that new moon that occurred last month. And this might be tied to somebody who's interested in you for, it's a new work opportunity, and maybe they want to be with you, they're sexually attracted to you, or vice versa. So you might see that come up right around February 25th. For others of you, this might have to do with a contract of some sort or a shared resource situation. But I think that's all I have for you this month, Leo. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, share, and like. I'm on Instagram, Gregory Furlan Astrology. I'm on Facebook, Gregory Furlan. Thank you for watching. Have a great month, and I'll see you next time.